We've all heard Billie Eilish's song about it, but what actually is the dark side of the Banshee? In today's video, we'll explore this female demon and her connection to death. Before we get into the spooky stuff, make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already, and stick around until the end of the video for more information on the Banshee and other mythological creatures. Also, do you know anyone who would love this video? Share the video with them. In Irish folklore, the Banshee is an evil spirit in the shape of an old woman who wails and screams to warn of an impending death in the family or in the household. The word Banshee comes from the Irish language, where it's pronounced van, she, meaning women of the fairy mound or fairy women. These women are usually seen as female spirits who bring bad news. Banshees aren't all that different from the Greek sirens, except instead of having a beautiful singing voice that lures sailors to their death, the Banshee uses her unearthly screams to announce death. There are many stories about Banshees throughout Ireland, and they often appear in older folktales. Many families had their own Banshee, one that would follow the family for generations and only announce deaths within that family. Sometimes these Banshees were said to be an omen of good, meaning that after they showed up, no one in the family would die. But if a family didn't have a personal Banshee and one showed up at their home, it was never good. If you heard a Banshee scream, it meant someone was going to die soon, sometimes even within the hour. The Banshee wouldn't always show up before a person died, though. Sometimes she would announce a death that would happen in the future, maybe a year or even several years from then. In some tales, the Banshee is said to be an evil spirit that feeds on the sorrow of the living. She would purposely prolong her screams to drag out the pain and anguish of those left behind. To avoid angering the Banshee and making her prolong her screams, the family would often give her offerings of food and drink. Sometimes people would leave out a place setting at the dinner table for her or leave food and drink at a crossroads. Occasionally, people would even dance around the Banshee in an attempt to distract her and shorten her screams. There were also male Banshees, but they were much less common than the female ones. Male Banshees were called Beansith, and they were said to be even more evil than the female Banshees. Instead of wailing and screaming, the male Banshees used other methods to foretell death, such as shaking the dead person's coffin or rattling the bars of their prison. Whatever the Banshee did, it was never a good sign. Seeing or hearing a male Banshee was considered especially bad luck because it meant that the person was going to die violently. In modern times, the Banshee is still said to live in County Louth and Meath in Ireland, as well as throughout Scotland. Hearing her screams is still considered a bad omen, but not everyone believes her any longer. Some say that the Banshee has taken on a new role as a protector of Ireland and only appears to warn people of danger or evil. This positive take on the Banshee is a relatively new development. For hundreds of years, she was known only as a harbinger of death and misery. Some writers have used the Banshee in their stories, such as W.B. Yeats, who wrote The Stolen Child, and Sheridan Le Fanu, who wrote The Ghost and the Grotesque. But by far, the most famous story featuring the Banshee is The Legend of the Seelie Court by author Juliet Marillier. In this young adult fantasy novel, the Banshee takes on a new form and plays a major role in the story. What do you think of the Banshee? Is she more Fury Road ghoul than Disney's Tinkerbell? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. Also, be sure to check out our other videos, which we think you might like.